Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and we're going to be actually doing another look today at Kerbal Space Program, where I am going to tell you that I underestimated this game by quite a bit. I thought, oh well, surely launching stuff to other planets, how hard can it be? You just follow some stuff online, take some basic advice, and fly. No, that is not how things have turned out at all. This game actually requires a lot of thought, a lot of planning, and who knew interplanetary travel would be tough? You see all these cans out here? I'm trying to probe our good friend Duna, which is the Mars equivalent in this game, and I have sent a lot of things to their space-bound deaths. Now, a lot of it is rocket design failures, but some of it was trying to launch it from over here, and I've since learned some basics of how to try and get to Duna, so I think I've sorted out some things, and we're going to give it a shot. I may succeed, I may not. So far, I haven't even managed to reach the planet. But here is, I believe it's one of these ships. I'm not having perfect ship design, but this is a, let's make sure this is what it's supposed to be. This is our big-ass rocket. Oh yeah, that's right. It's our big rocket that's going to need one addition to it, because I did just most recently try and launch this without any RCS fuel. So, do we want a small one or a large one? Let's put a large, whoa, we're not that large one. Let's put a small one on there. And I think these should be cross-fed to the bottom, okay. Because I've had multiple problems with this ship. This is a two-stage thing. You have your asparagus-staged rocket, basic, and then you have your nuclear-powered. I originally had 3 engines. I had other things that would attach there, and I'd blow up my ship because these would bump into one another. I had a lot of ships actually spin out in mid-space. I also had a lot of problems actually maneuvering my ship in space for deep space maneuvers, trying to make it turn, and I need some precision tuning here, so this will be my first ship with RCS boosters. This is my first ship that I've made with an asparagus-style rocket, which is just, you'll see it on launch because you have to detach things as they go, and time's right. Let's save this ship one more time. This is the test probe. Actually, we are on version 6 now, probably more than version 6, but it's minor tweaks. So this is not the most amazing ship I have ever made, but it's going to be the one that takes us the furthest. Actually, I'm not the design reading stuff, but we're going to put it into space Duna. And it's nighttime. We're not falling over. That's a good start to anything. I could put some support rockets on here, some support beams to try, but we're going to do our basic liftoff here, which is SAS, full throttle, and so we're already spinning around a little bit. That's a little irritating. I didn't know the RCS boosters adjusted me that much. But fortunately, we were able to fix it. We already have some overheat. That's to be expected with the liftoff because we have to punch through a lot of atmosphere. So I'm just going to let you all watch the liftoff, and we'll talk about what happens when we get up into space. And if you have any advice for how to better handle this, by all means, please tell me. By the way, asparagus staging is just I'm going to dump these fuel cans when they're done, when they're expired. See, there we go, and now we get to be a lighter ship that's going to be going up so much higher, faster. Let's get this together. We're going to do our turn at 10,000, which is the typical. So we get a nice sunrise over here as well, I think. We can try and conserve some fuel. So I want to do a big lift-off in just a minute. So there we go. Turn, turn, turn. I'm going to turn the SAS back on right now. Kind of pissed off my ship there a little bit. You can see it wiggling. Those beams are going, but we are rising into the atmosphere pretty quick. Don't want to overheat again. We do want to get a... Just had something blow up. I don't know what. I don't like that sound in this game, I've come to discover. We are going to start trying to angle our orbit more into the perhaps just straight on. We're going to have these next engines cut out. Go ahead and dump those. See how much higher we can go. We're already almost at a space-bound orbit. Let's make sure we don't blow up our ship, though. That'd be embarrassing. We're at 94, so we've kind of screwed up our angle here a little bit. Back down there. We're just gonna push this pretty high. We're not gonna be able to hit a straight-on orbit right away, but 100,000 is good enough. So I've found the ship to be terribly difficult to try and navigate without the boosters here. So we're going to see if the RCS will actually... Good. So that's exactly what we want. So we're over the moonrise now. So that's not the moon. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a big honk of fuel tank. You can see my resources here. So how long do we have? We have about 1:40 to our next marker. Let's go ahead and pull this up, because I'm going to get in the stable orbit first. And I don't know what my burn's going to be, probably because I haven't actually made a maneuver yet. We want to go into a full orbit here. I don't really care if it's a neat orbit or not, because we're going to be flying away from here. So we're going to do a pretty decent burn, actually. Just a little surprising, but I don't remember how to move the nav ball here. There we go. So if we can just get on our target reticule here in a moment. Because we are guiding the ship entirely from our front boosters. And I have no idea how our fuel pack's doing, so it could be another fun challenge here. Okay, we are almost at burn time. So our RCS is trying to keep us steady. I really don't know what it looks like, but monopropellant is going down in a hurry, so we're going to cut that off and we're just going to burn. And how big of an orbit do we want? See, we have our engine running, we don't need the monopropellant, but we've burned enough. This is one of the stages I've struggled with. Actually, what my original strategy was to try and make some kind of just BS it and then do a big delta V burn, which you can see from my orbits. It's and I'll pull up the map here again once I get a good orbit here. I have a lot of debris flying around. Like I said, this game is harder than I gave it credit for at first. I just thought surely I could follow a guide online and make it. And I've read a lot of resources, and this is a fun game, but good lord, it is a pain sometimes. So there we are. We are not overheating. We should have enough fuel in there for a pretty decent burn. I could have done better with my parapsis management, but we have 2 nuclear engines, and we're going to have to get ourselves arranged here. So let me talk just briefly while we figure out our next course calculation here. Pretty much what I was doing wrong before is I was trying to launch from here, and you can see pretty well from some of these orbits. Actually, this is a little further back now, but I was trying to launch from pretty much right here and scoot through sort of close to the sun orbit. And you can see some of these ships are making it close. This is making a fairly decent pass at Duna, but maybe someday in the very distant future we'll crash into there. But our goal now is to follow Duna. We're kind of at the ideal sort of peak here, so let's set our target. Duna, I want to orbit you. That sounds like a really terrible pickup line, but it's also the truth. So we're going to burn from about back here. And we are going to just pretty much try and see if we can get an encounter. We're going to burn kind of from the back side of the sun. Or where there we go. So we're getting some kind of burn. I don't know how our encounter is looking right now, if we even have one. So, do we? No, that's way too much of a burn. So let's back it up. Where is our closest approach? Because I did that a little. Okay. So we're pretty close. Kinda. We can actually get an encounter on the far end of the orbit. If we were to choose. I want to say that if we changed our angle just a little bit, that we could get a better encounter. So now that we know that we have one, there we go, that's what I'm talking about. We want to get that on our first approach, instead of having to go all the fuck around the solar system. Even though that'd be pretty cool too. Because this is just a probe, this is an unmanned thing, so we approach pretty close. I could actually make that burn and do a delta V kind of thing. And actually, we don't need to burn as much. There we go. So we got a 30 million meter encounter. Can I do better? That's 30 million still. I can slow this down even more. There we go. So we'll shoot for 30 million. 41 days to there. 39-second burn. I may or may not have enough fuel for that. So, how long do we have? 24 minutes to our encounter. So we're gonna do what we usually do in Kerbal Space Program and just speed up time. So let's look at the pretty Earth that we are going to be going away from. Excuse me, carbon. This is not real life, so here we go. We're gonna have to... Actually, what we're gonna need to do here is to try and be responsible with our SAS thrusters. I don't want to screw with this later when we're closer, because the last thing I want to do is actually miss our target. So let's go ahead and find where we are shooting for, because Lord knows I'm going to be using monopropellant anyway. My electric charge stuff looks like it's fine, so my thermal generators are working, or whatever it is I plopped on there at the start. You can see those right there, just tipping off on the side. So there's our ship, there's the very pretty orbit, there's Kerbal looking all Kerbal-like. And I guess it doesn't really matter too much if I can... The RCS thrusters, I can actually adjust this, so we're just going to try and keep stable. Hello, Moon. We're not going to see you today. So let's go ahead and get some time forward. Just enjoy the views, and if we miss our shot for some reason, like me being irresponsible, I'm going to give myself probably a minute and a half to find my stuff, because I am still not very good at this game. I'm learning, but I'm not very good. So there we go. Let's turn the RCS thrusters back on. And we're going to be doing a forward burn here, so I can already tell you that I'm going the wrong way. Or maybe not. I actually have no idea where my parapsis is facing right now, but I imagine it's this way. If not, I still have plenty of monopropellant, and I'm not... Oh no, that's the wrong way. I'm heading the wrong way. So we're just going to try and do a quick turn here. This is why I gave myself time. I need to orient myself better. So there we go. I can rotate my ship fine. It's actually getting my forward burn on. It's going to be the issue. But we are going to be on an escape trajectory. We're going to take it not too hard. We're going to try and be as precise as we can with this. So there we go. A nice view of the sun. And this is RCS stuff being awesome. I am a big fan of this. If I can just slow down. There we go. So I am going to be right in time. Close enough to the target reticule. So we're actually going to be flying off the backside of the Earth, Kerbal, whatever. And so we are about T-minus 15, no, about T-minus 10 actually, because it's going to be a 20-second cross burn, I guess. So yeah, we just want to get a good escape, and we can fix any errors that we make here. So, like that one. I should have already started that burn. There we go. See our ship wobbling? That's because we have a very expensive fuel tank going on, and we'll be able to see our stuff go in a minute. We're probably going to have to finish this burn with the nuclear engine anyway. I don't have cross beams on those final parts, and it shows that's a problem. So I don't know what our actual trajectory looks like right now, but we are going to slow this down. I don't know what we're doing here, if we have an encounter or what. Actually go a little sooner in here. So we're gonna RCS this back, because we can always do one more change on this. We are currently escaping. I just don't know what it looks like. I want to be precise. I've used more monopropellant than I'd like, but I'm not going to need a ton for later. So there we go. Lost our engine. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and pump it. Let's go ahead and dump it. So here's our last stage. We need to get 67 more miles per hour. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove my target because we're almost there. I don't mind making one kind of mid-flight change here. Let's hear. The blue is our current course. So wherever it is that we're going right now, we are currently missing by a little bit. So if we just update this marker right here, if we were to say add a brief maneuver. Oh, Jesus. We do not want to burn for an hour, man. We shouldn't have to, though. That's just estimated based on what we have. So we still have a Duna encounter by a little bit. Not as great, but there we go, 33. So we're decent. We have to get 77 meters per second. So we'll do the pretty burns in just a minute. I'm going to try and be precise here, so I'm going to be sticking with the map screen a lot more. See, it doesn't take nearly as much to push this hunk of junk around. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is what we want. Let's burn that. Let's hear it. Can we dig it? Do we actually have an encounter? I think we do. I think we do. Or if not, we are stupidly close. Yes, we do. I am actually going to make it to Duna with fuel to spare. I didn't put a lander or anything on this. Well, let's zoom out real quick. We're going to be saying goodbye to our home world, because this is going to be our first trip to somewhere else that is in a different system. So there we go, Duna encounter in 40 days, and our resources are looking fantastic. We are going really fast, and we can just kind of let you drift. Oh, no, we do not want to do that, because I may have just pushed myself off a little bit. Okay, so that was the wrong button, because damn it, I'm excited. So let's go ahead and leave Kerbal. We are just floating in space now. We have set our course. We have our momentum. There's the moon. There's another landing I did where the game crashed as it landed, because this is still alpha. There's the sun. Somewhere in there is Minmus. I can never spot it in the Oort cloud or in the Milky Way. But there goes our home. We have almost reached exits. And so, as soon as we do, we will get a new perspective here. So, bye-bye, planet Kerbal. We are millions of kilometers away. So have we escaped? There we go. So now we are relative to the sun. We are how far to our target? Pretty far. But for the first time ever in this game, I am actually going to succeed. So let's see here. That is the... Okay, so we are currently on 2 rails for some reason. We have a sun parapsis, and we have our current nav. And those are just meaning that we are going to be hitting our good friend eventually, Duna. Can we still see Kerbal? No, we have officially gone too far. We are actually traveling faster than a planet, which is pretty freaking impressive when you think about it. We are going at so many meters per second, and we are decelerating right now. But we're still going over 10,000 meters per second. That is ridiculous. Kerbal's... So we're actually outpacing Kerbal. Let's fast forward this a little bit, though. So we're going to go time warp times a lot. And how close are we getting? I think we are almost at a point where I can start thinking about making a target here. So there is our... I just want to look real quick on the map. If we look towards the sun, if we can find it, there we go. Now, it's not precise enough to where we can see kind of an eclipse here. Of course we can't anymore because Kerbal's not between us and the sun anymore, but it's all the way over there. And we're going to be close to our encounter momentarily. So right now we're orbiting the sun. You can see other space trash going around like, hey guys, I blew up. That was one where, oh shit, we're going to lose our spot if I'm not careful. So can I see Duna yet? Is the question. This will be my first look ever in this game at a different planet. I've made it to the moon, as you can see. I've actually managed to land on the moon, but a design flaw in my ship made my poor Kerbal and Jebediah not able to get back on board because I thought I had a ladder that was not, in fact, a ladder. So this is where we start zooming this in, because our encounter is coming fast. What I want to do here is go ahead and let's go ahead and set up, because we have our encounter coming. I'm going to slow this down all the way. So there's Duna, and there we are. From here we're going to be within their sphere of influence, and if we do nothing, we'll just shoot off. So we're it's kind of on us to figure out what we want to do. We have 11 hours, which is freaking crazy when you think about it. 11 hours to reach another planet. Now when we do that, if we burn like this, we should be able to slow down our stuff in the encounter. How far do we have to slow down though? Okay, so we have a crazy ass orbit apparently. But that's because we are actually currently below Duna, which is a little surprising to me. I thought that we were kind of on the same orbit, but I guess the way I left Kerbal is a little different, so let's get to the encounter first and I'll figure it out from there.